as large as it was perhaps 15 or 20 minutes ago, but then again, it is very difficult to get a view right now underneath that area as to whether it is still raging at this point. Let's take a look at some video from a little bit earlier and take a look at the smoke. I mean, it's extraordinary, and you can see the traffic backup in both directions. Again, if you are just joining us, it is 7:01 right now. This began about 10 after 6, 6:15, somewhere around there. This is, are these live pictures I'm looking at right now? That is video from earlier. So this is video from about 20 minutes ago. Again, if you're just joining us, we want to update you. We know a lot of people are joining us after NBC Nightly News here, as we have interrupted to make sure you have the very latest information on this. This is a live chopper shot now of the area, and we are sort of fading in and out. We apologize for that. We'll go back to a GDOT right now. But we are in Midtown. This is 85. Both directions of 85, north and south, have now been shut down. Buford Highway, the connector. Originally, they were allowing some traffic through northbound, but that has since stopped. Southbound stopped at the same time that they stopped the traffic on 85. So nothing is moving in that area. If you have a loved one, a friend, or anybody, or if you're in your car right now trying to figure out where you're going from here, the answer is you're going to have to be patient, because nobody knows. Nobody has a sense of how long this fire will be raging. The other aspect of this, we simply don't know about the structural integrity of the interstate along there, because this fire has really been raging for so long now. You simply do not know if the integrity of the road is intact or not. Hopefully, we will have that answer from GDOT. We will try to get some information from them. We'll try to get somebody on the phone with us to talk about that. Let's see. We have Natalie Dell with GDOT is on the phone with us. Natalie, can you hear me? It's Jeff Hullinger.
I can, Jeff.
Natalie, can you give me an update on what you know about this massive fire along and underneath I-85?
Well, I think there's still a lot of questions right now, so I don't want to speculate about what this may be. I think many of us still don't know what exactly is going on here. What I can say is that we have extra hero units dispatched to the location, trying to get the traffic that's in the immediate vicinity turned around and out of there. Any traffic that is on the road right now that is stuck in backups because of this really need to turn to their Waze apps, their Google Maps, call Georgia 511. You will not be able to travel through this area for the foreseeable future because this is a bridge. We have to have bridge inspectors on site that are headed that way that will check the structural stability of the road of this bridge, and we will not allow traffic back on this stretch of interstate until we are 100% confident that it is safe for travel. This could be later today. This could be after rush hour tomorrow morning. So if this is your commute, you need to start making plans now for an alternate commute tomorrow morning in the event that we cannot open this road back.
Natalie, can you give me a sense, and maybe you do not know the answer to this, but let me ask you anyway. Do you know what was being stored underneath there? Is this property of MARTA? Is this property of the Hero trucks? Clearly, it is tires. It is flammable material of some kind. Who is putting materials underneath the interstate?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. We just don't know right now what we're dealing with.
So your suggestion right now for anybody who is in traffic right now, who may be listening to us, is to prepare to turn around. Will there be people that will try to shepherd all of this? How will this transpire?
Well, we have hero units dispatched to the location. Now, those are those people that are in the immediate vicinity that don't have an exit for them. If you have an exit that you can get off on, you need to plan to get off there. It may be a while. We need drivers to be patient and courteous with each other and plan to take your nearest exit off of 85 and plan to take an alternate route, again, whether that's through Waze, Google Maps. Called 511. Our operators are all at the TMC ready to take those calls to help you get out of there. But if you have an exit immediately ahead of you, you need to take that. You do not need to turn around unless you're in the immediate vicinity of this, north or south, and our hero units will be there. How
about some GDOT planning for the morning? You had mentioned a couple of minutes ago about drivers trying to come up with alternative ways to get to their place of employment or school or wherever they may need to be. Will GDOT have any kind of plan, any kind of suggestions that there will be sort of a flow plan that will be released at some point tonight?
We'll still work on that. The best thing I can say is to obviously stay up to date on what's going on, if the road is still closed in the morning or if we're able to open it. But the best thing is to use your tools before you leave the house, plan before you go, whether you need to leave earlier or leave later. Our operators, again, at 511 Center can help you navigate through this area without using I-85 if it's still closed. But you need to plan ahead, know before you go, so that you don't expect to take 85 if it's still closed.
Natalie, I'm looking at a live shot right now. It appears the interstate has collapsed. Can you see it?
Shot. Yes, I see that as well. So going back to that, this situation has just gotten much more serious, and so we other than needing to plan for alternate routes to work, this stretch of 85 will not be open for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, this stretch of 85, this will take months to repair in all probability. And again,
absolutely. And I would love to get y'all some more information, so I need to get off with y'all so I can go get some updates to update y'all at a later time.
Natalie, thank you. Am I missing anything? Anything else you want to throw as you exit?
No, just again, just keep the firefighters on site in your thoughts and prayers as they're working to get this out. We'll get the road back open as soon as we can.
Natalie from GDOT, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate the information, and we will talk to you later this evening. Again, we are taking a look at this massive fire burning on I-85 in Midtown, and this is a live shot from our helicopter, and as Natalie from GDOT just said, this has gotten significantly worse. This is a sobering picture of I-85 as a portion of it has collapsed after taking some very, very heavy flame, an awful fire that began almost an hour ago, and it continues to rage as fire officials have been able to get it looked like one ladder truck where they were dumping water in there, but right now this thing continues to burn, and it continues to be underneath the interstate. So the concern is that more of the interstate will collapse. Traffic in both directions was shut down about 6:20, 6:25 tonight, and people are trying to figure out where they are going to be able to circle to get away from where they are. The traffic has been backing up, as you might imagine, around rush hour or the last half hour or so of rush hour as we approach the 7 o'clock hour, and it has been an absolute mess in both directions. Buford Highway had some traffic going through, at least on northbound area, but southbound was stopped a very, very long time ago from the very beginning. Again, this is a shot from up top. You can see the firefighters right down there. Can you see them right down there by the sign? I think we've kind of covered them up where the live logo is, but they are on the highway right now, and they're firing water into that blaze. The one upside, I suppose, with it collapsing there is they are able to get a better angle on more of the flames. But as Natalie from GDOT said, I mean, this is going to impact Atlanta traffic for months. I mean, this is an incredible fire that now is going to impact so many people in their commute, as it will take a very, very long time to get this road constructed. This is a GDOT camera, as you can see the smoke again. And it looks like that picture has frozen right now. We'll see if we can get Crash Clark back on the line to talk about some of the other ways that possibly you can get to work tomorrow, which is going to be a great challenge for this area. Again, if you know Atlanta, if you've lived here for any period of time, you know that this is one of the busiest areas in all of Atlanta Metro in terms of traffic. Whether you're there at noon or 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning, it is absolutely slammed through those areas. It is bumper to bumper. Now there is the consideration of how to maneuver, how to navigate with these being out of commission for months. Crash, can you hear me? Jeff here.
Jeff, I am absolutely awestruck that I am watching this live shot here from the Sky Tracker that you guys were watching, and that this square, this entire interstate just pancaked right down. Hopefully no firefighters or any personnel were underneath that. I would imagine they wouldn't be. Those flames were so intense. But I can't believe what I am looking at here, Jeff. This is insane that the entire interstate has collapsed. You can only imagine what this is going to do to rush hours, as you've been saying, for weeks and months ahead while they try to clear this, investigate it, obviously. And then you've got to reroute all this traffic. As we look again, this section of I-85 completely just collapsing as if it fell in one section. And as Natalie Dale from GDOT was saying, they have to get bridge inspectors out there. It makes you wonder what type of damage occurred to 85 southbound as well. So, folks, for the next couple weeks at least, possibly months, 85 northbound, you're unable to leave the city of Atlanta taking that road. Think of the pressure it's going to put on Buford Spring Connector if indeed they can even reopen all of that. You would assume they can, but of course I don't want to speak for anybody until they get this investigation wrapped up and everything checked out. But Buford Spring Connector, Peachtree, Piedmont, folks are probably going to have to go as far as taking, as I said before, I-75 just to get out of Midtown and take that across the top end. Even I-20 perhaps heading over to the east side perimeter. Surface streets are just going to take a beating on this. But I am absolutely beside myself, Jeff, after doing traffic for so many years. We're looking live right now from the Sky Tracker as they coordinate this traffic to turn around and head back the opposite direction so folks can get off at the nearest exit and then make their way to wherever they need to be. But I'm almost speechless.
You know, Crash, that is Piedmont right through there, that whole area through there. And you know, this makes you very reflective seeing this in that, you know, we are a city that public transportation is limited. And it has certainly been an Achilles heel for this region, for this metropolitan area for a very long time. But it reinforces the notion that if we lose an area like this that is so extraordinarily important to getting in and out of Atlanta, the number of options in that area are somewhat limited. And you really wonder about some sort of flow plan that GDOT will have or some ways that people can get into Midtown as well as in town and downtown Atlanta. It's a great challenge right now, trying to figure out which way simply will flow to the point where you're not in traffic, you know, sitting a couple of hours tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think the two obvious answers to that are going to be Peachtree and Piedmont, and we know how busy they can get on a regular rush hour while folks are still using 85. So imagine you take all this traffic off of I-85 leaving the downtown and midtown area, and you try to funnel that onto Peachtree and get through Buckhead or Piedmont Road. I mean, I'm looking at some of the traffic right now, and I'm seeing folks as far as North Druid Hills and La Vista. I mean, everyone just trying to scamper away from the scene of this. You're going to find people using probably Claremont Road to get in and around the city. It's going to be that incredible to go maybe towards East Ponce and head into the city. There are numerous ways, but they're much smaller ways. But when you take a 6-lane interstate like this and just collapse it, this is a catastrophe for commuters in the city of Atlanta for sure.
All right, Crash, I don't know if you can see a television set right now, but take a look at some of these pictures. We have some video shortly before we believe the interstate collapsed, or it might be shortly thereafter. Let's see what we have right now and try to get a view of it. You can see firefighters beginning to come in, and then they pull back to the left. You see them take their hoses and pull back?
Yeah.
And well, there it falls right there. And
there it is, yep.
That is it right there.
Yep.
But, you know, I was thinking about when you're talking about other ways to try to get in town and ultimately downtown, where you're talking about Claremont, you're talking about some of these smaller roads, North Decatur Road, all of these kinds of things. You know, they are slammed these days because of the growth of Emory and the CDC. Quite frankly, getting through there on the best of days is a very arduous kind of journey. And now when you talk about increased traffic flow, I mean, that becomes an even bigger nightmare. So again, yeah, there are options to try to find your way into downtown Atlanta and Midtown, but the reality is they are going to be choked. They are going to be full because the population has really, you know, really filled out in these areas, and there really aren't a lot of options.
No, and you think about all the construction that is going on right now in the Midtown area with all the new complexes and apartments and work, live, and, stay places like Atlantic Station and Avalon that have been going up. I mean, I know we keep playing this video again, and I am